Hello everyone and welcome back guys to more GT Sport, where today we're here back for more of the Manufacturers series. I have been doing a couple of these races, but it's been a very long time since I last uploaded one to the channel. But yeah, today we're here back for round 2 of the 2020 Championship, where we head to Suzuka, this time out in the Group 4 cars. Hopefully we can have a good race. You know, we had a fairly decent race in the opening round of the Championship, but hopefully today we can have a little bit of a better showing as well here. And yeah, I'm a bit rusty on GT Sport. I'm trying to play it here and there, but I just, don't quite find the time like I do with things like iRacing and Forza here. But I am still enjoying the game at the end of the day. That qualifying didn't quite go to plan. We find ourselves starting all the way down in P17 here, so it might have to be a bit of a recovery ride here today in this one. We know 11 laps ahead of us around at the Suzuka circuit, probably going to take in the realm of about 22 minutes here, just under. So yeah, we'll wait and see as to how this one goes. And yeah, starting right towards the rear of the field, hopefully we can try and improve on our grid position here, basically by just staying on the road. But yeah, this race would prove to be one of the most chaotic I think I've had on GT Sport in quite a long time. So we'll wait and see as to how this one goes there. 5 lights and away we go. They're already cutting the final corner of the Casio Triangle there to kickstart our race. Somehow not pick up a penalty from this one. Now, this was unfortunately before the new penalty rules came in, and yeah, this was the race that confirmed to me just how broken and janky the penalties are, or were, I should say, on GT Sport. I've done a couple of races since, and they seem to work a little bit better here. Down in towards turn 1, just lack of practice meant I had no idea where I was going. You can see 3 people have already span around through the first corner. We luckily just about, we completely punt that Mercedes off the road, but we don't spin around there, so that's probably going to give us a penalty. Yeah, 2-second time penalty. That is fair, I suppose. You know, we probably could have had a bit of a safer rejoin, but still, yeah, not quite how we needed to kick off this race here, so we're going to have to struggle towards the end of the lap. Now, there's only one slowdown point around this circuit. It is as you head down in towards 130R, so, you know, we've got a little bit of time to try and settle down into a rhythm here before we have to serve that. And you can already see the top guys making a bit of a breakaway towards the front of the field there. But we're still up 2 places in the opening sector there of this race, just by mainly keeping it on the road there. And that's all we can really ask for at the end of the day. Yellow flags are out. Not too sure what's happened there. I'm guessing we've had some rogue punts down in towards the head for that Kamui Kobayashi style. But yeah, nothing that has gained us any places here. We are slowly closing in. I think is that an Atenza Master, I think they're called, if I'm not mistaken, new car, if I'm not mistaken, to the GT Sport roster, I think. I don't know, it might be a GT3. I can't keep up with GT Sport news at the end of the day there. But yeah, we are closing up to the back of them. However, you know, now we're going to have to serve this penalty. Almost put ourselves into the gravel trap on the run onto that straight there. That would have cost us a lot more time than having to serve this time penalty there. And yeah, we're going to drop back down into P16. It's probably going to be P17 behind the Mercedes that we managed to punt there. And yeah, that means when all is said and done towards the end of lap 1, we're still exactly where we started, down in P17 there. So not quite the way we wanted to start this race, but you know, there's a long way ahead of us. And I'd actually started to realise something quite early on in this race, as we're now all over the back of the Mercedes once again there. He's just going to brake a little bit too early and then run himself wide into the corner, and we pick up another 1-second time penalty there. Now, don't get me wrong, yeah, I feel he had a lot more time to brake than he was willing to there in that situation. I'll be honest, I think he could have got the car slowed down a lot more than he even tried. It wasn't like we completely punted him completely through that wall. It was just a case of we hit him and then he just never really braked after that. But we did move ourselves up into P16 in the process. You can see already a couple of people starting to dive it in for their first pit stop here, and there were no well, apart from the racing hards, there was no mandatory tyres for this race. And looking at the fuel, it was looking like the fuel could make it in this one. It was going to be very tight, but I'd already pretty much confirmed to myself at the start of this one, if we want to make progress in this race, we're going to hang on with these hards. I think they were the only tyres you could use in this race, and we were just going to try and no-stop this and see where we end up here. As you can see, coming towards the end of lap 4, already having to do a little bit of fuel saving at the moment, but we were going to be safe towards the end of this race. We're clearly not burning through as much as I even thought we would be in this race. They're all over the back of the Cayman GT4 just in front of us there. He makes a bit of a mistake. That throws me off in through 130R. We're going to try and rejoin the circuit. We're going to get tagged from someone behind, and we're going to get sent massively, massively deep into the Casio triangle there. He's not even going to pick up a penalty from that, if I'm not mistaken. So, wonderful things to see. Luckily, I managed to avoid the Cayman just in front of us there. And yeah, that's going to give us some front bumper damage as well. But luckily, obviously, GT Sports damage bottle, that would go away nice and quickly here. And yeah, we were slowly sort of settling down into a rhythm. We hadn't really, as you can tell by our laps, been particularly consistent so far in this race. But we were giving it our best shot at the end of the day there. Someone else makes a mistake on the exit of the final corner there. So that's us going to be up another couple of places in this race. And now as we head on to lap 7, finally starting to show a little bit of consistency in this race at the moment. They're now up into P12 of this race, and I wonder if, you know, the Huracan seems to be quite good on fuel there. As you can see, the Merc just in front runs wide through turn 1, but it's certainly, you know, it's got a V10 at the end of the day. It's clearly not going to be it's going to be a thirsty car there if someone else goes wide in towards the S's there. So I was quite surprised actually that we didn't see a lot more people trying to utilise this strategy in the race. Perhaps I was just quite good on the tyres there. The difference between the Huracan GT4 and the GT3 on this game in terms of tyre wear is honestly quite scary at the end of the day. Then we're coming towards the end of lap 7, all over the back of this Mercedes once again here. Are we going to punt him once more in this race? You can see the F-Type in front of him just runs a bit wide there. The Mercedes, he squeezes out over the curbs through the final corner, and we're going to get a penalty for forcing another driver off the track. Now, I don't quite know where he went off the track in that situation, but that's the third penalty in this race we've got with contact with him, and I think 2 of them, in my opinion, probably haven't been deserved, in all honesty, in this race. So I'm getting a little bit annoyed with this guy at the end of the day. You know, I don't know what it is. We're up into P8 though as well, so we're still making okay progress. We've got an Austrian just up in front of us here. I think that's the guy in the Cayman from a couple of laps ago here, so he's still holding on fairly consistently at the moment. Hopefully we can try and close down the gap to him over these next couple of laps here. But the Mercedes is sticking with us as well as we head out of the S's. Can we try and get a good run out of Dunlop there? You can see just running a bit wide, trying to hang on in there as best as possible there. And you can see the Mercedes is once again going to be able to get up the inside. A little bit even more contact between the pair of us there. And we get another 1 second time penalty for that. He lost nothing from that, yet GT Sports still decided that. We get a much better run off the exit of the Degners though, so we might be able to have a look back up the inside here. It's going to be the outside for the hairpin. Probably going to get a 1 second penalty for even getting near him as we head out of the corner there. You can see someone else who's right behind us as well. And now it's going to be a drag race with the Mercedes SLS as we head out of the corner there, down in towards Spoon. Can we get a look up the inside? He's still just about there. We're getting a bit of a better run into the braking zone. We're just going to be on the inside. He's going to brake a bit earlier there, dumping on the brakes, and we're accidentally going to completely spin him around there. How many seconds of penalties is that going to give us? It's going to be a 2 second pen, but I think, in all honesty, he lost a lot more from that than we did here. And yet, tempers have certainly fled in this race there. We're going to rejoin, though, back down in P11. As you can see, someone else is going to fly back past us once again here. And yeah, only 3 laps to go now of this race. We're just trying to hang on in there and just get to the end of this one, because it's certainly been a tough old race at the end of the day there. 3 laps to go of this one though. Hopefully we can just hang on in there and see where we end up. We're still up 6 places from when we started, so I guess we can take that as well there. End of lap 9 though, a couple more people now having to make pit stops, as well as their tyres just weren't quite making it, or they had started on a set of the medium compound there. We set our new fastest lap of the race there, 1 minute 11.605 there, so quite happy with that one there. You can see the Cayman now is just going to come out behind us, so we're going to now move ourselves back up into P9 of the race there, pretty much in the middle of the field at the moment, with just 2 laps to go of this race. Could we potentially hold on for what would actually be quite a good recovery drives? 8 places made up in 11 laps. I would certainly walk away with feeling quite happy about at the end of the day, but we'd actually be applying pressure to the Lexus here with just over a lap to go of this race. Can we have a look up the inside in towards the Casio triangle? They're actually purple through the middle sector here. Gonna go for the send up the inside. Can we keep it nice and clean? He's gonna have a little bit of contact between the pairs there. He runs himself a bit deep though, but he does hold on actually to the position there, but does have to dive it into the pit lane, so that's quite critical for him. He'd started on a set of the medium compound there, so he needs to make that stop with just 1 lap to go here. And yeah, now we're up into P7 of the race, so up 10 places from where we started, and this strat was really starting to look like it had actually worked out quite nicely for us as we head onto the final lap of this evening's race. They're down through turn 1. You can see the Cayman still just about a second behind us, just over at the moment, so he wasn't quite in the slipstream zone just yet, and obviously through the S's it's not really somewhere you want to be, in all honesty there. But yeah, anyway, heading on though towards the end of this final lap, you can see we're about 26 seconds off the leader there, losing on average over 2 seconds a lap at the end of the day there, and our fastest lap was only just over a second off the quickest at the end of the day there, so I guess we'll take that. But unfortunately, it was looking too good to be true there. We just dip a wheel out on the AstroTurf. We're going to lose 1 spot to the Cayman there. Are we going to lose a spot to the other? I don't think he's quite going to be close enough there at the end of the day. However, he is still gaining on us as we head down into 130R there, and might require a bit of a suicidal move, but this is GT Sport, and based on this race, anything can happen at the end of the day. They're playing it a bit calmly in through 130R for the final time of this race, breaking down in towards the final corner there. I saw the Cayman getting a lot closer on the mini-map, but luckily it would be quite close enough. And through the final corner, it's going to be P17 to P8 at the end of the day. They're not quite P17 to 7th, but we'll take it at the end of the day. They're at a good recovery drive to pick up some good points on the board there. It was an F-Type who took race victory there, and quite a few Caymans in this one, as I think everyone likes the GT3 car a whole lot more. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching this video. If you guys did enjoy, do get yourself subscribed for more GT Sport content, and we will be back next time out, probably. I think it was for some Nation Cup racing, but we will have to wait and see.